in God's name is going on in here? What was that ruckus?
What ruckus?
I was just in my office and I heard a ruckus.
Could you describe the ruckus, sir?
Okay, here's what I would have done. Bro, no one cares what you would have done. Actually, everyone cares. Welcome to Let Me Book the Territory, the podcast made for smart marks and nostalgia nerds. Brought to you by the Embrace the Turn Up Podcast Network. And now your hosts, A-Dub, B.A., E-Ray,
a rough one, but it made for hilarity. So, anywho, guys, speaking of hilarity, we are back. This is the greatest wrestling podcast of all time. It is Let Me Book the Territory. It is I, E-Ray, the quasi-bad guy, the Diet Coke of evil, E-Ray Knight, the phenomenal E-Ray Styles. I am in the building. And, I have some gentlemen with me. We're doing a little swap in, swap out. It's not the normal 3MB, but we still here. 3 against the world. First and foremost, I could not do this without my guy. He is constantly going from CVS to Walgreens to Rite Aid, Walmart, pharmacy, wherever they have Pepto, Docalax, antacids, whatever you need, because his stomach is always into some bullshit. He is the most constipated man.
Oh, shoot. Did you just take like all of my AKAs from like the past 2 years?
Yeah, I made them better. That's what I do. Is I take what you do, make it better, flip it around, reverse.
It's your boy A-Dub, Dubson Reed, if you will. Dub Hayes, himself in the building. Another crazy week of wrestling. I don't know how we're going to keep this to 90 minutes, but I am up for the challenge. Let's rock and roll.
Man, good point. We're going to try. We'll give it a shot, but I can't guarantee that we will succeed. Speaking of success, guys, the richest man of this pod is not here this evening. B.A. DiBiase, he's just not here. He's gone. He's making so many moves. He's cashing in his stocks, his bonds. He's touring colleges for his prepubescent children. I don't know what the fuck this guy does, but as another representative, we called in another guy to represent from the BA show. Hey. We have Glock Lesnar himself, John from Fourth Rope. What's going on, Brody?
What is going on, man? It is such a pleasure to be back. My name is Glock Lesnar, Fourth Rope. It's been a minute since I've been on here, man. I get called the wise man of the BA show. So, we're going to drop a little knowledge today about what we got going on, though. So let's head straight into it. What we got?
I like that. Yo, he gets straight to it. This guy must be married as well. I promise you, those married men don't play no games. Look. We ain't got time for all this foreplay. Let's get straight to it. And you know what? I'm with that. So I guess we got to talk about not WWE. We're going with Forbidden Door. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
It was glowing.
It opened and a bunch of guys walked through. A lot of them, we had no clue who they were, but some of them, we really knew who they were. And boy, it was a card. And let me tell you this before you even get started. the overreaction was abundant. But E-Ray, you go ahead. You start, buddy. You go ahead.
That's what you're gonna do. You see how you just set me up for you know what? In spite of Dub, I am going to make sure that we cover this in a proper manner. And I think Sean has my back here. So we are going to attempt to do more justice than AEW technically deserves most times, because stories don't matter there. But you know what does? The wrestling. And guys, if you know anything about wrestling, when the forbidden door opens, lots of Japanese men walk out for some reason. And I was like, all right, where is this door located? Like, is it a portal? I don't know, but forbidden door was a thing.
There were 5 matches on the undercard. Holy shit.
Yeah.
This was a 14 match show? Bro, these niggas ain't got nothing else to do.
Wait. I'm gonna shoot him some bail. I think this is a part of like blending the fan base, because AEW they lend some of their star power, quote unquote, to the card, and then you have New Japan that has typically like Wrestle Kingdom and the G1 and all these things that I've never seen before, but they are long as fuck, and there's like lots of
Wrestle Kingdom is a long fucking show.
And I've seen a few Wrestle Kingdom. I'm being facetious, but yeah, I don't watch the G1 and all those things, but they are typically very long shows that have lots and lots of wrestling. So I think that's where it's like, yeah, that's okay. This audience is used to watching this type, and if we can get like that Worlds Collide feel, they're perfectly fine with it. So I'm gonna start with I have no idea what happened on the undercard. So if you want to talk about those matches in any way, shape, or form,
not really. The only one I saw was the Mogul Embassy versus I don't know what they call themselves, Best Friends plus Chaos. I don't know. A lot of people. Good match. Mogul Embassy to me works a lot better than just like the Mogul Affiliates thing did.
Absolutely.
Mostly because I didn't know who that tattooed scary man was, and Baby Brock, it just wasn't working. But
I was gonna say, do we want to keep it real, or do we want to keep it really real?
Keep it really real.
Really real. Really real.
So the Mogul Affiliates didn't work because it was Swerve and 2 generic white men. I was like, why? Why do I care? I even though I do love Baby Brock, but for some reason the other tattoo scary man just was like, okay, now it's just 2 white. This is very weird. Or he's like his white man servants. I don't understand.
I did like the idea of Swerve having just white slaves, and then Rick Ross will come up around every so often and say accusations.
His name is Swerve, not Swirl Dub. I know you get those confused. It is very different. But yes, the Mogul Embassy, like it works better. I think Prince Nana and Swerve just is fantastic, which leads me to one of my things that's very important to mention. I think there was a necessity to have him prominently feature on this card that they missed. And I feel like certain spots probably should have went to him instead of.
Were there any black people on this main card? Oh, Willow.
Yeah, Willow.
I think that was it. No, actually, I'm looking at the card. That wasn't.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at the card. I mean, if you
Ricky
count
Stark's
Eddie
not on there
Kingston,
somewhere?
if you count him.
No, Ricky Kingston is not on there. Ricky Starks. You guys are talking at the same time. I'm putting names together.
Okay, so he was on the Go Home show, or Collision. That's what it was. So
wait, is Eddie Kingston black?
No, I mean
no.
Feels adjacent, black.
I mean, he looks like he says nigga a lot, but I don't know if he's a nigga.
All right, yeah, he's nigga Jason.
Nigga Jason. Yeah, we'll go with that one.
Holy shit, that's great. But I just feel like to speed this along, Give me some of what was the shit that started? What happened in this fucking forbidden door?
Oh, and I'm the one that's okay.
No, because I have a point, but I just need you to. This is your job, Dub. Give us the card.
No, you know what? Because you're proving my point. Because what started this pay-per-view was the motherfucking AEW World Heavyweight Title match, and you couldn't even remember that. You just watched this shit today.
No. Correction. I watched this over 3 days because it was so fucking long. It took me like, okay, I gotta watch this. Then I get to it. Okay, another piece. I watch it here. But yes, so
AEW
that was
not made for the ADD generation.
It was rough. So who are the people in this match?
MJF and Hiroshi Tanahashi.
That's right. This was the match where I was thinking possibly MJF wouldn't actually wrestle a full match and they would figure out a way to,
smudge it.
Yeah. But they actually went there and had a good match. I actually enjoyed this match. I thought it was a quality match. MJF is one of those guys that we constantly forget. Oh, he can wrestle. Like, I literally forget because he talks so much shit all the time. There's like, it feels like the Miz Jr. where they're just hiding him and it's good for promotion, but in the ring, it doesn't always deliver. No, MJF always has a pretty good match.
I hated this match.
All right, well,
damn.
Hated this match.
Okay, why did you
hate
it?
About it?
What did you hate?
It just felt boring to me. I don't know. Like, and I'm an MJF fan. I want to like everything MJF does.
So it was Tanahashi.
Probably.
I mean, it might have been Tanahashi. I haven't seen enough Tanahashi's work to even know, which begs the question: why the fuck is he getting a world title match? But
because he's Asian. It's
I'm
Forbidden Door.
I'm starting to smell some New Japan hate up in here. All right, come
on. No.
You hadn't noticed that was the theme. It's a New Japan wrestler versus AEW. Hence, okay, sorry. Continue, Dylan.
They might have been able to find somebody better. I don't know, maybe, but I don't know. This match just felt boring to me, and like this began what was my oh shit, I'm about to fall asleep watching this pay-per-view because I watched it live, and I was like, I'm like, by the time the match was over, I was like, I ain't gonna make it to the end. But maybe that was just me. I just found this match to be boring. That diamond ring punch finish, he's using it way too much at this point.
Yeah.
Choke somebody out with the fucking scarf or something. Hit him with the belt. Like, he uses that way too much at this point, and it was old a year ago. Now I don't know. I just didn't like this match at all.
Fair point.
Shout out to MJF. Hopefully they build somebody up to actually challenge him.
Sean, please give us some bail here and tell me that you didn't hate this much as Dub did.
No, I didn't hate it at all. So I can't even say as much. I didn't hate it at all. You got a good opening match. The rest of the card, the bottom of the card is enough to support, what you get at the top. Facts. So you start off with the AEW Championship. MJF doesn't care about not going on last. I mean, it's not needed in wrestling anymore, like he said. It's true. So you get a classic in the ace of New Japan, and you get the world, AEW champion. In the first match of the card, they give you 10-15 minute match, solid wrestling. You don't get to see an MJF outing as much. So it's a special occasion for the AEW fan. I don't hate it at all.
See, balanced, neutral. That felt we got some alignment here because I didn't hate the match. I just because there were so many matches, I just forgot. I watched this on like Sunday or Monday or one of them. I don't remember. But again, I thought it was fine. But I want to get to Jungle Boy. That's the match where I was like, why is he getting a title shot? That was the one. It was so
against the New Japan guy, and considering he's never wrestled over there.
Considering that he just lost a title match. It didn't make sense.
So wait. So you're saying that he lost an AEW world title match, so he probably shouldn't have a title match for a more prestigious world title? Whoa. Whew. Oh man, I don't know. TK would disagree with you,
especially when you have Swerve that's not on the card, or he's not on the actual card.
Yeah,
it just felt like Swerve has been doing amazing work. This would have been a perfect spot to showcase him. He doesn't have bad matches. He doesn't put on like 20 pounds of muscle. It would have been
Cole's right there.
It would have been. I get why not doing Adam Cole. Because they're doing something else. You got to still also be gentle with him as he's working his way back. I'm okay with that type of stuff. Utilize the black talent. Sorry, so I say. And then for that, I don't even. Let's not even talk about this match. I don't care about the match.
You care about the turn.
Yes, the turn heard round the corner because nobody else can talk about this. Let's be real. Jungle Boy turns on Hook. Did anyone see that coming? I knew they were lingering for a minute, but I was like, I'm thinking Hook is gonna be like, all right, beat his ass. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I thought the turn was gonna be Hook, but I was like, all right, I guess. I mean, everybody in the AEW like locker room and the higher ups there are way more sold on Jungle Boy than anybody on this podcast. So I think that was their way of saying, hey, we're still putting a rocket on this guy. It's malfunctioning a little bit because he has no actual charisma, but hopefully the heel turn helps him. But he's gonna heel turn against somebody who doesn't really talk much. I don't know. I got nothing. I'm trying. I'm trying like to think of ways for this, and I got nothing. It's weird.
Help him out, Sean. I feel.
Does he drop the Jungle Boy with this turn? Like Jungle Boy,
Man, Jungle Man, Jack
Tarzan, Jack Perry right. Now. Like, I have questions.
There's a lot of questions about it because I saw they were gonna turn him. You know, the turn coming soon. They just did it in the shittiest way possible, almost. Wrong time, wrong person, wrong event, like everything. I don't know why they did it. Like a lot more questions to had than were solved, to be honest.
To me, plus, he should have turned like by like jumping Sonata after the match and then like hitting Hook or something, like fuck this, I'm out.
Grabs him and
yeah,
and then like hits him from trying to stop. Yeah, things like that. It's a little cliche, but it works better than what the fuck they pulled there. I would rather have cliche that leads into an actual cohesive story than some that doesn't really make sense at all. Like, what is a Hook and Jungle Boy feud gonna do right now?
I don't know, but I did appreciate Taz trying to add so many layers of story to this. I was like, Taz been in this for a long time. He's added some story, some levels to this. You're like, damn.
He's a grown ass man, but I'm just staying out of it, keeping my composure. I enjoyed it. That was.
And then he left.
Fantastic work. Good job, Taz. Taz did the best job of this whole thing. But I agree. I think it was pretty cliche, or it wasn't cliche enough. It was the wrong place, the wrong time. And it was like, again, it's not all about like not seeing it coming. It's like you have to build to something that matters. Didn't Hook just start coming around him like last week or some shit? I can't understand. And didn't he just have a feud with Christian Cage for being a dick? And now he's like, oh yeah, you know what works? Being a dick.
Wait. And you know what's even worse? Is that he looked at the FTW belt like that belt means any fucking thing.
I mean,
he still gets another belt shot though. That's the worst part.
Yeah, like he's gonna get a shot at the FTW belt, and then he's gonna lose that too.
He's never winning a title. You never put nothing on that man.
Like you keep moving him down like belt status of belts he's gonna challenge for, and he keeps losing them. I mean, I feel like in a year he's gonna be the AEW 24/7 champion.
I mean, there's enough belts for him to have one. There's like 400 belts. He can.
I mean, they keep pitching us a story that Orange Cassidy is pretty much broken. So,
but
maybe that's where they go.
That's a good story though. Which AEW is
So they're not doing it.
missing. So again,
There's
neither
another
here nor
12
there.
belts on Ring of Honor you could go for.
That was definitely the match for me that I was like puzzled face. Like, why is this happening? Then the turn that they were lingering around, they went away from it. And I was like, oh, the camera. This feels like a poor man's DIY. I was like, they're lingering a little too long. And I was like, nothing's gonna happen. Oh, fine. Wait, Jungle Boy did it? All right, whatever.
You're like, for why?
I did, and then he tossed the belt and walked away. And I was like, so Jungle Boy is now a dickhead, and he lost his best friend and mentor because they were being dickheads. And I just don't understand. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense, but we'll see. Maybe
So he could have just embraced being a dickhead and had his mentor and his pet dinosaur still.
Well, that's all I was gonna say. Maybe he somehow finds his way back to them now that they're the TNT champion. They are the TNT champion. We could see this in the future with Christian Cage and Luchasaurus back together with Jungle Boy or something. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, who knows?
They keep trying to make him a pillar, but is he really?
No.
I don't.
No.
I feel like he's just been there, but pillar status.
I would swap him for Orange Cassidy.
Any day.
Hey, we did it, guys. We did it. We fucking did it. Moving on. Let's not linger too much. We don't have to cover every single match on this card, but I'm gonna go. Sean, tell me the match you are looking forward to, and then did it deliver?
Oh, it's gonna be the cliche, but Omega and Ospreay off the rip.
Smart man.
Off the rip, because I watched the Wrestle Kingdom in January. That was a classic match to me. So seeing him come back, get his revenge. It was obvious he was going to drop the title because Kenny's been doing nothing with it. So it was going to be nice to see an Ospreay win. And if you were watching the match, it was kind of like a mirror to what they did at Wrestle Kingdom, just places reversed. So
okay.
Yeah, it was a nice contrast to the match. It felt like a good closing. A good closing.
I gotta ask because again, I didn't see the Wrestle Kingdom match. I wanted to watch it. Life happened, so
understandable.
I didn't get to it. Right. Or Life Jennings. One of them. Something happened. I don't remember. But I watched this match like in a bubble and was like, this match is fucking incredible. It didn't matter about the backstory or shout out to you for knowing the inverse and the synchronicity between the two. I didn't know none of that shit. And I was like, this shit is like fucking incredible. Blew my head off. Like, what is happening? One Wing Angel. That's where I popped. I lost my fucking
the kick
shit.
out at one. The kick out, yeah.
That's long form storytelling. That's a story that's been being told for, I don't know, like 10 years now plus.
Yep, that's why Kenny Omega is the best active wrestler.
No one kicks out, and then he get put up. So you're like, oh, this has to be over. And not only does he kick out, he kicks out at 1, and then he's just going fucking Hulkamania.
You're hulked up.
I was like, I didn't know shit about shit, but that translated to me through the screen. As the resident AEW / New Japan hater, I see it. Your head just fuming. Did this moment touch you? And like appropriately, not inappropriately.
The kick out at 1,
like Father Abraham. I mean, yes, that moment.
I gotta say, E-Ray, I loved it, and I loved every second of this match. I also love the story going into this match of Kenny leaving, telling Will he's the guy, and then at Wrestle Kingdom coming back and saying, I told you to be the guy and you're not the guy, so I'm gonna beat the shit out of you and take your belt. And then Will Ospreay coming back like, yeah, remember me, motherfucker? I'm the guy, so I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. This match was brutal, and I loved it. They didn't do the hand things when they were bouncing Kenny's face off of the fucking announce table.
No. He was taking straight shots. Yeah,
I was sitting there watching that at work. I'm like, I'm uncomfortable.
Dribbling his head like a goddamn Spalding basketball.
And then Kenny spikes Will off of the ring steps and they just leave Will's blood there the rest of the night. I'm like, yo.
Jesus, man. The spots that you saw, I saw at least almost 8 cases of possible paralyzations. Life-changing events and within split second. That Tiger Driver 91,
CTE
that
now.
Tiger Driver 91.
I was like, oh, he's dead.
He's done. I was like, nah, bro, he's out of there. Like his career is done.
How many Tiger drivers are there?
Apparently, I've heard of 98,
97, 95. I was like,
I only knew about 97 before today. I was like 91, 98. How many fucking Tiger drivers are there? What was Tiger Mask doing in the 90s? Just spiking people on their head every year?
So you took it as years. I'm taking it as like degrees. Like 90, 91. Slightly obtuse, 98. Like I don't
one arm hook, 95, like bro, like different shit, bro. I swear to God. Oh my God. I thought he was dead. I don't know if Tiger Mask was legitimately murdering people, but Kenny Omega was inches away.
I need to go back and watch his whole career and that cartoon they did about him now. Like, what the fuck were you doing for 20 years? Just dropping people on their heads different types of ways?
Making people go to the upper room.
Just murdering.
What does Tiger Driver 1 look like? I have so many questions.
Holy shit.
Is the final level like you hit the Tiger Driver 0 and like somebody just explodes? I have questions after this event, finding out there's like 35 Tiger drivers.
I'm just like, Tiger Mask, you should probably lay low for a while. You're probably wanted for murder. It's inevitable. But in this match, I was like, ugh. That made me definitely wince. Like, oh, his spine. Because I looked at the like shoulder to neck ratio. Like, oh no, there was no protection. And this is going to be how should I say it? I have some critique for another match because I was expecting this and it was a lot more, let's protect each other. We haven't necessarily worked before. This was like, let's fucking die. And they went Thelma and Louise in this bit and took each other out. And I was like, this is incredible. So, yeah, clearly, easily my match of the night. Again, seeing the blood just left on the stairs. I could not help but reminisce about Bloodsport and the Kumite. I'm just waiting for a little guy to come out and wipe it off and then find a gold tooth and try it on. Like, oh, yeah. And then walk away. It's like, it was amazing. So again, shout out to them guys.
That would have been the perfect thing for Danhausen to do at this event.
It would. Low key. That
would have been amazing.
I would have took it. But yeah, easily favorite match.
So Will Ospreay definitely has CTE now, right?
I mean, yes.
Okay.
Like, he didn't take 30.
I don't think anyone's ever caught that many V triggers ever.
Well, okay, but I was gonna leave it, but we kind of fell back into it really quickly. The spot where they continuously German suplex each other, release German, then get up, just pop up, no sell it, and groggily do the same to each other. I was like, fuck, this is like hard New Japan strong style type wrestling at its best to me. I'm not really the guy that's like, oh, slap chop each other in the chest and look at each other. I'm like, that doesn't really do it for me. But this type of like very stiff wrestling, I'm like, man, this is entertainment.
Not a big fan of the German suplex exchanges. I'm just not, because of like how painful of a move that's supposed to be.
But that's the thing. They're selling the psychology that they hate each other so much
they can overcome the pain of one of the most devastating suplexes in the world.
No, fuck this. You see, because they're not just jumping up like, yeah, it's not him, it's not Will Ospreay and Ricochet, where they just flippity shit. This was like, ouch, I'm hurt. I kind of groggily stand up. I dive under you, and I'm gonna one up you. You thought you got me, now I get you. And then he gets him, and I was like, this is the one-upmanship, and that built up that psychology.
I mean, no, I get it, but like, I just never like this spot, no matter who does it.
No, it definitely matters who does it. Like, it's a difference because the way I've seen other people do like, it just feels like a no sale, or it's like that's goofy. This worked because again, the hatred that was sold between them, the way they were wrestling, trying to kill each other, and then leading up to the one ring angel reversals and all this shit, and then when he actually hits the one ring angel and him just popping up still crazy, it's like it harkens back and it ties everything together. That's why I'm like, that just works. They got it. No one else.
It didn't take away from my like enjoyment of the match. It's just not a spot I'm fond of. Just because, as someone who wrestled in high school and I've been suplexed before, it's not fucking fun.
I mean,
I wasn't an elite level athlete like Kenny Omega, but I was close.
You also didn't have a burning, searing hatred for the person that you were wrestling, like Kenny Omega or Will Ospreay.
This is true. They were just some white kids from some other random high school.
Yeah, you're like, man, and you left it at that. But neither here nor there. Dub, I'm gonna ask you now. What was your super meh of the night? Like something that you looked at was like, okay.
I wanted to like love this 10-man tag way more than I did. I just thought it was an okay match. I appreciate the Bucks coming out and wrestling in those Shaq Gnosis shoes. I appreciate that on a very high sneakerhead level.
Okay.
I don't understand why Eddie Kingston was so mad at the end of the match. Like, there's just so many things going on because it was a 45-man tag match that I'm like, I wanted to like this more because I like so many people in this match. But I don't know. It just missed the mark somewhere. I'm not sure where it went off the rails, but it went off the rails. I don't think it ever got back on track for me.
I can tell you where it went off the rails. The Elite coming out to Kansas without Kenny Omega. It just don't do it for me. I was like, what the fuck? Like,
you need that guy in the middle there?
Yes. That's me. That's fucking gun. Pull the guns out. Like, that didn't do it. I was like, what? Oh, Hangman, get out of here. It just wasn't enough.
Hey, can we talk about that Ishii dude that was on their team who has like no neck at all?
Is that like the most strong style guy that everybody's scared of?
Yeah. Him. That was scary.
He elbowed not Orange County, Darby Allin so hard he killed him. And then he came back to like, oh shit, I was dead. And I was like, okay. But again, that's not my thing. So I'm like, I don't like when people just sit there and look at each other like, hey, I'm about to hit you. And then they do it. Okay, I guess. Wasn't for me.
And then of course Wheeler Yuta took the pin because he takes the pin. Moxley bleeds. That's just what they do in the Combat Club.
It was on a brain buster too. That was the weirdest part about it.
So I tell you what, that's a brain buster right there. Like if that's the brain busters Vince was seeing when he banned the move, I totally get it.
Speak of the devil. Literally Blackpool Combat Club versus the Elite, and they were it's happening right now after
again.
Yes, AEW right now, and then Eddie Kingston comes out for the save, and I kid you not, Claudio just fucking double stumps on his back as he's sliding into the ring. It's like, fuck out of here. It's like, oh, my spine, and then they just start beating his ass. Fucking Hangman is bleeding uncontrollably. This is pure anarchy. And guys, that's been another episode of AEW Quick Hits. And we're done with that.
Do we want to get to this main event before we get off of Forbidden Door?
Yeah. Sean, I got to ask really quickly, and Dub, feel free to add into. I want to know, how did y'all feel about the Willow Tony Storm match? Also, how much did it affect you that this could have possibly been Mercedes Moné versus Toni Storm instead? And did that affect how you felt about this match in any way?
No, because honestly, I like Willow more than Mercedes Moné as a wrestler.
Well,
that's just me personally. That's just like I said. That's just me.
I'm coming, Elizabeth.
I said favorite. I said favorite. I said I don't think she's
breathe.
better. I don't think she's better. I said favorite.
It's cool. You don't have to defend it. I was just taken aback.
Oh,
No, but yeah.
all right.
This is a Willow Nightingale fan pod, by the way.
Yeah.
I've stated this from jump. Yes, love Willow Nightingale, but did not expect to hear that. But again, I'm perfectly fine with that. So, how did you feel about this match, being that Willow is somebody that you favorite?
It felt nice
Toni
that she
Storm?
got the opportunity. I knew she wasn't going to win it. But the fact that she got the time and the exposure and the experience, I fuck with it. It's nice. I like it.
That's commendable. I love that answer because it's true. And it's like, I remember saying probably like 3-4 months ago where I was like, why is Willow Nightingale constantly just facing what's our girl with for the TBS championship?
Jade.
Jade Cargo. And I was like, she just fights her and then she disappears and they just lost her for a minute. She kind of got lost in the fold. And I was like, she needs it. So again, to see her in a more prominent spot, I 1,000% agree. That was cool. The thoughts on this match?
Here's what bothered me about this match. It was too short, and its placement on the card.
Yeah.
You have the women's champion over there in Japan, the women's champion over here in AEW. That needs to be right where that Sting Darby Allin fuck show of the match was, towards the end of the card. That match should have gotten to 15 that Sting and Darby got. Because I felt like it ended too quickly. And I don't I think kudos to Willow for getting that spot. Like you said, we are a Willow Nightingale fan pod every single day of the week and twice on Sundays. But I didn't feel like she was able to get enough of her stuff in to once she drops this New Japan belt to be looked at as a serious contender against Toni again, which she works a style that to me worked good with Toni. But
True.
A lot of cheeks in that match.
Yeah. I agree as well. So you got me.
And
You got me.
I was highly upset that Mercedes Moné was not in that match because that's money. That's a money matchup. Unless she's
Money
busy.
or is it Monet?
It's Monet's.
Okay. Just checking.
It's Monet bags, if you will.
And
They could have had the money confetti come out for her and then
her and
Okada right
Okada,
after.
yeah.
It would look like Magic City out there.
Rainmaker. That's what I need to say. That would be my new thing if I ever go back to shout out to Pinups in Atlanta. If I ever come back, that's what I'm like, oh my God. And just shoot the guns off. Be fantastic.
Mercedes should start doing the Rainmaker and Okada should start doing the bank statement.
I'll allow it.
Just randomly.
We'll get to that. Yeah, I mean, we don't have to talk about it, but yeah, the Sting and Jericho's stuff. I was like, Jericho is just they tease more Sammy Guevara split up stuff. He's in Jericho jail, and I just need I've said this probably at the inception of this podcast. Judas is one of the greatest wrestling songs of all time. Here we are, I don't even know how long later, people are still fucking popping for that. That's the only reason he's on our TV. It's because Judas. They need to get Judas on the TV at least once a week and once a pay-per-view. And I get it, because that shit still goes hard. But outside of that, the ring work was awful. And I feel bad because Jericho is one of my goats. I was like, this is so bad. You just should probably not do this anymore. I never thought I'd see the day where I'm looking at Jericho and like, man, Jeff Jarrett is performing better than you in the ring in 2023. Rough. Ugh. But
85-year-old Minoru Suzuki looked better in that match.
Yeah, you can't lie. He did.
And he's been wrestling that strong style, catching Tiger Driver 85s and shit for 35 fucking years.
But he probably does like 4 billion.
You don't even know where he is. Right
sumo squats a day. That's just how they do. Like we seen the final boss doing that shit in NXT. They just like that's what they do. So he's just in better shape. Jericho is like living a rock star lifestyle. Might not make it. He's doing a lot of other shit. And it's I don't know, but that match could have definitely been on the undercard. But
undercard that had 12 matches.
That's a hilarious. Bro, I don't know if y'all know. Do you remember the spot where Sting was on the table and he sent Sammy to go do the 3? Bro, Sting wasn't supposed to take that fucking spot. If you look, Sting tried to get up, bro. Sting wasn't supposed to take that spot. And then you see him after like crawl up and then tag out and then just fucking lay. He just laid on the apron
now. That was the spot that stuck out in my head. Like I thought the him taking that through the table, I was like, that was fucking dope. But then it's like, oh, Sting tries to avoid it, but he can't. And I was like, okay. But then when he got into the ring, he crawled in the ring, and then he just kind of sat there for a second, and he tagged out. And I was like, wait, he's not going to even try to save because the pin was happening. He just looked at it from the corner like, damn, no, if we lose, it's my bad. And I was like, what the fuck is that?
He was just dead.
He wasn't, but bro, he took a fucking 360. What was that? Like a 360 senton bomb over the rope. And he landed right on him, bro. Sting wasn't supposed to take that spot.
That makes that shit so much more funny. It's Sting. Like, he was done. He got up barely. He was like, shit. And I just remember him still in the ring, but in the corner, just sitting there looking at his guy getting pinned. And I cried. I was like, that's what I thought. I was like, damn, this.
Then heard Danny
really
Glover's
bad.
voice in his head. I'm too old for this shit.
Damn it, Riggs. Yeah.
Somebody was there. Oh, he's selling really good. Nah, that man almost that man almost died.
He not selling. He died.
He not selling.
He almost bit the farm like he ain't selling. He sold it. I'm out of here. You about to check out early.
This shit almost
like,
got
damn.
sold. Yeah.
Whew.
He almost really became the Crow.
That's another thing. Before we get out of here, before we get off of this, gotta say, Sting just be coming to the ring in anything. This nigga wore like just a fucking random ass bomber jacket from H&M, and I was like, what is the gimmick? It's like it's the face paint. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna leave Sting alone. It's Sting. Finally, we're here. The finale. The reason why we probably, quote unquote, paid for Forbidden Door. Okada versus the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. Dub, tell me why you gave this match 82,000 stars in the Tokyo Dome.
Because Danielson tapped out Okada with a broken freaking arm. Like that, to me, that was nuts. I will say it wasn't 8 stars. It was more closer to like 4 because it didn't deliver the way I wanted it to. I know Bryan Danielson's not going to take 45 Rainmakers the way Kenny Omega would. He still should have took like 3 of them. Because I feel like, because Okada took like 35 of them Blue Psycho knees. And like every submission that fucking Bryanson had in his fucking repertoire, from the cattle mutilation to the Rings of Saturn to the LaBelle lock. Like,
he took a pile driver onto the ramp, very protected.
Yes.
He took 2 Rainmakers. I would say decently landed. The Bazaico knee again, very protected. It was like they gave us Kenny and Ospreay, so it was hard to see anything hitting less hard than that. And this match where I was expecting, because the promo leading up to this, he got me. He said, Rainmaker, I'm the fucking desert. And I was like, that's hard. That's hard. I used to live in Arizona. I know what that shit like. It's dry. Love it. I was geeked. I was like, love that part. And then that entrance, because the fucking Tony Warbucks loves spending money on copyrighted music.
Copyrighted.
Man, I was like, that was for me the final nail in the transformation for us to get that heel 80s super bully villain Bryan Danielson. I was like, I love this. I'm just wanted him to sweep the leg. I needed something that
he got to start wearing Blackpool Combat Club varsity jackets.
I mean, he's one step away. He's already wearing like the sleeveless hoodies. And I was like, and he had the braided hair. I was like, man, this is presentation. That won me over alone. Then the match was fine. But yes, the finish, because as we say, we love to tell you guys on Let Me Book the Territory, it's all about the finish. Having Bryan Danielson tap Okada in the center of the ring, no Blackpool Combat Club, no shenanigans, and Danielson don't win like almost ever. He be taking L's. So that was like, boo. Like I popped for that. So I was like, hell yeah. I thought that was dope. Sean, any deep insight to this? Because I feel like you might have had a different version than Dub, because Dub was like, but I want to know how you feel from being an insider.
It's, to some, it was just, a wrestling match between two good technical wrestlers. To others, it was the best wrestler in the world argument. Not to me personally,
okay,
but to a lot of people, Okada is the best wrestler to ever grace a ring. Some people say Danielson is the best technical wrestler to ever grace a ring. Okay. So to see, that's why it was the main event, in my opinion. It was like a score settler. In other words, it was a score settler. So it was a nice match. I liked it with the count out or the tap out. I think it could have went a little longer if Danielson didn't literally snap his fucking arm like clean. So a little left on, to be had with that.
I might have missed that. So he really broke his arm?
Yeah,
no, his arm is broken. Yeah,
he dead ass broke his arm. Like, that's not kayfabe. Like,
he sent pictures of the X-ray out on Twitter today.
Like, I'm pretty sure it's in like right there,
radio owner.
Yeah, but he legitimately snapped his arm.
I think it was when he took the second Rainmaker and he landed on his arm. I think. But yeah, no, like the end of that match, because he was holding it to his side, he was not selling it.
Okay,
he couldn't move his arm.
I seen him do this, and I thought he was selling. Oh.
No, because that's why he switched from the bell lock to that Rings of Saturn type thing, because you don't need both hands. Yeah, he's such a technical master. You're like, oh shit, that's great. Yeah, and then he clearly had to torque Okada's shoulder all the way back, like, hey, no, motherfucker, I don't know if you can speak English that well, but my arm really is broken. We got to end this match. Tap right now.
I appreciate it. So
yeah. So I do want them to run that match back. Maybe when Bryan's arm is healed. Maybe put a belt on the line. I don't know.
I'm not mad at it. Again, guys, that was us. You got 35, 40 minutes of Forbidden Door. Okay. I don't know. I can't say that you'll ever get that again, but cherish this shit. All right. Now, moving on. we got other things to do, because this is not going to be a quick pod. But you know what? Strap in.
Get comfortable, everybody.
All right, we do this. Moving on. Dub, I feel like we gotta. Where's the music? We need the as the bloodline turns. Like that. Just we gotta get a sound
Starring
bite.
Jimmy and Jay. Guest starring Solo Sikoa. And featuring Paul Heyman as the Wise Man.
Right. So
on this episode of The Bloodline Turns, the Usos jumped their baby brother and beat the shit out of him. Loved it. Loved every second of it. I will say one thing I do wish that happened. I wish they would have like addressed that in like the opening promo of the show because they specifically talked to Roman talking about how what he did was unforgivable.
Yeah.
Well, what about your baby brother? Like what he did was kind of unforgivable too because he turned his back on both of y'all at different times. He had time to think about it the second time around.
Yeah.
Like I wish they would have addressed that, but other than that, I love that they added that little wrinkle of, hey, Solo, yeah, you're out here solo.
Right.
So take these dual super kicks.
Show you it's power in numbers.
Power in numbers.
I didn't get to see this. This is one that I missed. There was so much wrestling going on. I did not miss it. Sean, I gotta ask, where were the new wrinkles, if any, that they added this week? Because it feels like we talk about this every week, them adding a new dimension or a new wrinkle to the storyline to keep it fresh. I know BA was legitimately out one week. The next week, this one wrinkle,
They pulled
right
him back in Carlito's way.
It just capped. So what was it this week that I may have missed where they have changed it to be like, oh, there's a new level to this or a new wrinkle, if anything?
Well, the Usos are going more independent on their own. They're reverting back to not pre-Roman Reigns of when he picked them up, but you heard, they're doing the Uso penitentiary and all that shit back open. The Usos, yeah. So they kind of reverting back, and they're going into this whole Civil War type shit. So I wouldn't say it's more of a wrinkle, but it's a buildup of a crease. And then once after post-match, you'll see the wrinkle. Or the following week on the follow-up SmackDown or Raw.
They gave you that reminder. Like, the Usos haven't done that back and forth promo thing in legitimately 3 years.
Jada and Styles P.
Oh, and then they had the whole thing.
Yeah.
He was like the bloodline, and he stopped him. He's like, oh, yeah, my bad. The Usos are now with Yossi. That type of shit. So you almost forget like how good they were at doing promos together. And you're like, shit, this is why they might be the greatest tag team of all time. Like, and it was just so much fun. And then to hear them say, welcome to the Uso Penitentiary again, you're like, restoring the feeling. There's been a lot of restoring the feeling on like WWE programming lately. The Usos coming back, then jumping people, the NXT parking lot still not safe. Like, a lot of restoring the feeling going on, and I'm loving it.
Ronda ruining titles.
Yeah, restoring the title, restoring the feeling. Yeah,
You're right.
Ronda Rousey.
Well, we're here. So I got feelings about this. I love
feelings for Isla Dawn.
We know Dubber T. We know.
You see the way she be. You see the way she be on that intro, just like when she's sitting in that ring with boy, stop.
Swirl Master ain't gonna be to save you for this time. Like, Dub. We know.
I'm just saying, bro.
I'll say. So there's a few things here. One, let's just talk about the Ronda Rousey equation, right?
How she hasn't gotten better in 3 years. She's actively gotten worse. And keeps getting handed belts.
How are you thrown into the main event scene for 3 years and you decline? That is terrible, bro. That is, oh my God. So yeah, somebody else go. I'm
gonna shoot her some bail. I guess I gotta be the voice of reason here, which is crazy, right? I know.
That means we all go to jail.
Okay.
We all go to jail.
just wait, guys. This video pod
going
coming
to jail
soon.
tonight.
Video pod coming soon. Because if y'all would have seen the looks I got when I say I'm gonna shoot Ronda Rousey some bail, do not clip this because this will not happen often. This needs to be said. There's so many things that I dislike about Ronda Rousey and how she's presented, how she's wrestling, etc. I will say this, and I'll make it quick with this, and then I'll go into, first, as Joe Budden and others have taught me, you lead with love, and then you come with the bashing and the hate. So I will say I shoot her some bail because I watched the match that she had with Raquel Gonzalez, and I thought it was actually pretty good. And I thought she did a great job at making us care about Raquel Gonzalez, or Rodriguez, as she's been redubbed. I was like, okay, that was her selling and her getting a win and getting out of there, but getting tossed around. And that's something that we don't often see. Like, Ronda usually whipping hoes ass terribly. And I was like, why is this even on my TV? This is fucking bad. But it shows, number one, the confidence that they have in big back pose. Like, finally, they're building somebody else up to possibly take on Rhea or whoever. But also Ronda willing to kind of look more vulnerable than we've almost ever seen her, and not in a silly manner, which I think that's why I would say I don't think she's gotten technically worse. And I think Shayna Baszler has hits a lot of her deficiencies. So that's the positive that I can go. Now the negative, what the fuck are they doing? They beat the TikTok tag team. That pissed me off. Their debut, they lose to Ronda and Shayna. Then they get Isla Dawn and Elbow Fire, and they take them belts off them. Like, give me them belts too, bitch. I was like, what's happening? I don't get it. I don't like it. And now they're kind of having these single things for them to face Big Back Pose and a returning Liv Morgan. The fuck is happening with this damn tag division? It has Vince written all over it, and I hate it. I hate it so much. And it could have been so much better by just not having Ronda and the like included, or like hyper focused, taking all the belts and things of that nature, which it seems that they're doing. The one thing that I'm like, all right, if y'all gonna do this shit, do it this way. They've now slurped all the belts into one. It's one fucking mega superstar tag team belt. If they now venture to NXT again, and
they can lose those belts to two black women, Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend. Sign me the fuck up.
Preach.
Sign me up for that. Metaphor. I'm all in. Good job, Ed. Thank you for getting us here.
Yeah. That's all. That's all I got.
Because I love me some Jakara Jackson and some Lash Legend.
Hey, don't say that too loud. Your swirl babies might get.
I'm worried about main man Mensa coming for me.
Oh no, I was talking about your other roster. But regardless, moving away from there, nothing else needs to be said about. I just feel like the women's tag shit is just bad. Am I tripping here, Sean?
Hell nah, that shit has been in shambles. It was before the titles were introduced, and then it went to shit when people were getting injured. They couldn't figure out who to put them on. They didn't have enough teams to actually have a cohesive division, so they started throwing together all these mixed match, weird ass tag teams that made no sense. Which is how we eventually got to Liv and Raquel. And yeah, it's shit. It's shit, man. We
had teams, but Vince didn't care about them.
Destroyed them all.
When has Vince ever cared about serious women's wrestling over his time in his career?
But that's my frustrating part, is that we had teams, we had a whole division, and then they were rebuilding one. Like, we had the TikTok tag team, we had Fire and Dawn. And then we had Liv and Raquel who were really trying to make it work. That's 3 teams right there. You add in 2 down to NXT. We had a division, and then Vince comes in and nukes it all again because we have to put belts on Ronda for some strange fucking reason.
Because she asked.
She walked in and asked nicely.
Yeah.
Can't beat that.
Karen. It's
Speak
crazy.
to the manager. Yeah.
Right. And you can't forget about Chelsea Green.
Those two are becoming a pretty cool team and fun to watch. Like
that would have been my choice to put the belt.
They had a 5-6 team division, and they nuked it.
Department would have been it.
They're the new Iconics. It's fun. It's like you don't expect it to be great, but the things they do outside of it is so greatly annoying. Her TikTok shit going on, like let me speak to the manager in different places. Hilarious. I've never been a Chelsea Green fan until this return. She's been nothing but excellent outside of the ring. So again, character work. But yeah, I'm gonna do this. As much as I hate Ronda, and I've gained a new level of appreciation for Shayna Baszler. I heard her interview on Cheap Heat, and I was like, you know what? I fucks with you on that level. Together, again, she's given a little bit of the rub and some of her flavor to Ronda, so it's not as bad. I'm gonna give this
2 weeks.
I throw an extra week in there.
3 weeks.
I gotta give it 3 weeks. And just I'm gonna just hands off. I know I'm breaking down barriers here, guys. I'm trying to be a little bit different. I'm gonna allow this to breathe for 3 weeks and see what we get, because you know
is giving
Money in the
Ronda
Bank.
Rousey an extra week. Is your girl a Rousey fan or something? Are you like trying to earn brownie points or something? What's going on?
Duh, my house, you know what my household looks like. It's Dead Mike and CB4. Blackity black. That's not what we doing here. It's Bianca Belair all day, etc. so forth. But with that said, I'm just trying to imagine a landscape. Granted that we have Gold Rush just passed. We got the Bash, Great American Bash, Bash Brothers, whatever that shit's called, coming up, and Money in the Bank.
Yeah, that's in y'all backyard. Y'all should like link up and go to that. You're rich now.
I mean, I was thinking about it. If like it just doesn't make logical sense. If I can find some low tickets for the low, I may also still consider it. But so I'm not ruling it out, but I'm gonna be like, probably not, because in literally 2 days I gotta leave for SummerSlam. So be that as it may, I'm giving it a few more weeks, because I think maybe we'll get some type of direction in the next 3 weeks. That's the only reason I extended it.
Right.
I know that is all. If not, I'll be the first person to come back here and go scorched earth on this shit. But you know, enough of that.
Please.
Talking about scorched earth. Speaking of scorched earth, Finn's fucking promo that he could not get out live in the crowd. He got to say that shit in a dark room, like he was like he was Pusha T talking to Jim Jones. Love that shit. He tell 7 years. 7 years. I was like,
Bitter Finn is my favorite thing right now. Bitter Grape Street Finn is my favorite thing right now.
I gotta ask a serious question though, because I feel like, as just easily as wrestling fans, we all love this. This feud is the shit. It's the money.
Yeah.
But has WWE accidentally bumped into something too good too soon?
Yes, 100%. They spent so much time like not putting a belt on Seth because Roman is Roman, that they put this belt on Seth, and like he should be poised to have a long run with it, but they bumped into something that's just, it's too, like, this is too good for them not to put a belt on Finn, And then here's part of the problem with how they built this, and I think they kind of booked themselves into a corner. Finn is going against a Seth who's been running the gamut of open challenge, and Finn Balor beat down, because it's on site. So if Finn can't beat a run through pause, beat up Seth, like who else can he beat for a singles title? Because he's not beating a healthy Gunther at this point if he can't beat up Seth. And the US title is a step down for a guy like Finn Balor right now. So to me, they booked themselves in the corner to the point where Finn has to win this belt.
Right.
Or you have to write him off TV for 6 months.
And I am terrified because the Judgment Day is now they're in their like almost getting to their final form. And it's like, oh, this is good. Like everybody in the Judgment Day looks good right now. Like good. Like it's fantastic. You got Rhea, that's the top of her game. You got Dom, is the boo heat magnet of the millennia. Damian Priest cut the stupid purple hair and he looks like got a little bit of beard on him and he looks like, oh, I'm the man right now. And he's having fantastic matches. And then you got the Finn that we always wanted. Like this is the closest to that Prince Finn that was in NXT, that the incredible run that he had. Not necessarily Prince Devitt, but the Prince with the X's that when he came back to NXT and we were like, oh, that's the guy. This is who we wanted, where he should have been like, oh my God, he's incredible. He carried that, transitioned it, and now he's finally kind of really back to that status where it's like, oh, I believe everything he's saying. This story is too good to be true. I feel like I wish they could have had him, doing some Judgment Day shit and having Seth doing, a random feud or two. And then they got back to this like 3 months from now, where it's like, this feels to me Daniel Bryan versus Kofi. Like, fuck, they just ran into something good. Daniels is at the perfect level, Eco Champ. I'm like, and he just started this Eco Champ run, like 2 months worth. Like, shit, they ain't taking the belt off of him. But then you got Kofi Mania, and I'm like, I don't know who's gonna win this. This is too insane. I feel the same way with this. Like, Finn is doing incredible work. I cannot understand how he doesn't win, except he's going against Seth fucking Rollins, who is the best Seth that he's ever been. I'm conflicted. This is the best part of wrestling, but it's almost determined to disappoint in a sense, which is scary. It's very much like kind of the antithesis of Kofi Mania in the so far Cody Rhodes end, where people were like, this has to happen, right? And it did. And you're like, fuck.
But even with all like Cody's momentum going into it, like that felt like a story that we were just writing because like it felt good. You're watching this Finn and you're like, nah, this is like some of his best work. Like he hasn't done work this good, and they haven't positioned him in a place where like, oh, this work is great, and we're putting him in a position of power. Mm-hmm. So like you're looking at it where like, yeah, he has to win this. Like there's no way. The Cody thing, it felt like that's what the story they were writing was, and they booked it. And part of it's that song, part of it is the fact that he was marching next to Martin Luther King. Like all of that put together. This Finn thing is just like, nah, this might be the best work he's ever done. And like, you're like, fuck, and it's just so good.
On the main roster, so cool. There is no question. This
no question.
The best work that he's ever done. Mm-hmm. And I am like, I'm terrified that I'm going to be left unsatisfied. Don't blue balls me here, guys. Don't fucking do it. And I am nervous.
What would be an unsatisfying finish for this for you?
For Finn to lose. Clean. Story
okay.
Over.
I agree.
You moved on. Because Seth is saying everything that we're thinking. So if he gets it right, it's like, as you said, the fuck does that mean for Finn? If Seth says, hey, I'm not 100%, but your best Finn Balor can't beat me at my most mediocre Seth Rollins. And I'm like, shit, if that's true,
Finn got to get the fuck up out of here for a while.
Judgment Day doesn't matter. Like, it's so many elements that plays for Finn. Watching him and Rhea with the champs. Come on, though. I need
Sign
it.
me up. Sign me up.
I need it.
There's no way they're just gonna let this go for a few weeks and then culminate it and finish it at Money in the Bank. There's no way. This is gonna get dragged out to SummerSlam. Y'all are gonna see this match live again, most definitely. There's no way. There's no way.
I would love for everything you said to be 1,000% accurate, and I like that you're talking me into it. So walk me through how that happens. I need to know. Book the territory. How do we get there? Because I'm seeing like, shit. Well,
it's kind of like the situation what they had with the Usos versus Roman and Solo. Walking in there, Usos were gonna win. If booking and how booking works, you knew Usos were gonna win. How, or not Usos versus Solo. It was the other match. I can't remember what it was, but it was Roman and Solo versus Sammy and KO.
Ah, gotcha.
That one. I'm sorry. Yes. That was on the Roman and Solo versus Sammy and KO. You knew walking in there that Sammy and KO were gonna win, but you didn't know how. You knew it wasn't gonna be clean. So in my sense, there's a couple ways it could happen. Damian Priest and Finn Balor have been beefing for a minute, internally. This could be a culminating moment for them, and Damian Priest could accidentally or intentionally cost him the title. Thus, for furthering a Finn and Seth rematch at SummerSlam, and you finally put the belt on Finn, and then you can take it off of Finn with finally giving Damian his time. Wow. Because Damian versus Seth just doesn't seem right to take it straight off of him. I'm not saying he's a transitional champion, but it would be a nice way to further that lineage of that championship on Raw.
Yeah, so Damian cost he cost Finn the match. Does he do it with the briefcase? Are you predicting that as well?
Not the briefcase. No, LA Knight's winning that one.
Okay.
LA Knight's winning that one.
Yeah.
No, he just cost him the match. And then, because there's no way it's going to be a clean finish. No possible way. It just doesn't make sense. Because at that point, if it's a clean finish, Seth either has to have a monstrosity of a title run, or Finn gets written off of fucking TV, or Finn goes on a fucking monstrosity title run, beating Seth Rollins in damn near the best Seth you've seen. And
this is gold Seth.
Exactly.
This is the final form of Seth Rollins.
It's like either way you put it, the other person has to go for a little bit. Like, this
is stressing me out because it's so good.
So it cannot be clean. It can't be clean. It can't.
So I'm of the opinion that I still think Finn is winning this clean, and I'm not sure where Seth goes after, but I think your money going forward is going to end up being Damian and Finn at SummerSlam, because they kicked Damian out of the Judgment Day in favor of JD McDonough. That's kind of what I see going forward, because they're like, Damian's our new guy. We need another top babyface besides Cody. I mean,
babyface Damian? Yuck.
Not babyface, but face.
Archer infamy.
Yeah. Like
Liddy,
face as in
guy.
like the heels turned on him type thing.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I see that going, because I don't see how Finn doesn't win this. He just has to win this at this point. It's too good. Like the match with Melo, had Ospreay and Omega not happened on Sunday, this would have been the match of the week easily.
Yo, it's E-Ray, the quasi bad guy, the Diet Coke of evil, the side god of pod, and I'm here to tell y'all, come check out my show, Binge Flicks and Chill. You never know what you're gonna get but we always talking some good shit when it comes to television and the latest movies. So we want to bring y'all in. We want to make sure you have a good time. You learn something, you laugh, you cry, you might stab a nigga or two. I don't know what you're going to get, but that shit's popping. So come check out Binge Flicks and Chill. And it's me, E-Ray, and you buried the lead there. Ladies and gentlemen, there was a match between Carmelo Hayes and Finn Balor.
Grape Street Finn. Grape Street.
Finn Bitter. Like,
Finn Bitter.
It was a thing because Finn was trying to jump Seth during some shenanigans, and Finn grabbed a chair, and Carmelo was in the audience and said, "Nah, hell no, you ain't about to do that to my boy like this." And I was wondering, I was like, wait, after Seth just kind of gave him some love, is he gonna just sit there and watch that man get his ass whipped? I was like, you can't do that. You can. Oh yeah, appreciate you, dog. You're like, damn. Ooh.
I mean, you can, because Jeff Hardy hunched all the way down to the ring while his friends are getting beat up. So,
I mean, Rhea Ripley used to do that shit too, but that's different. They were coming out for the save, and they just got caught up in their own music. Like, oh, this shit is. Oh, yeah. I have a job.
Rhea, I have to. Well, hold on, Rhea. I have to stomp. Wait, no, your friend's getting their edges snatched out.
She gotta get off that brutality. She ain't have time. But this is different. He's in the crowd, so he's like, "Oh hell no!" And he got involved, and of course that led to him and Finn having a match. This is furthermore why I don't think Finn can lose. He beat Carmelo Hayes on Monday Night Raw, our NXT champion, like clean.
Decisively, yes.
Like
they made a point to like let Melo get some shit in, but they made a point to say, hey, Finn's like 2 levels above this guy, just in case you guys were wondering where we think about Finn Balor.
Yeah, Braun on Monday Night Raw beat Dolph Ziggler for his title back. It just does not happen. And I'm sorry, I have to mention AEW Quick Hits. Sting just killed himself. I'm sorry to interrupt, but this is important. Sting just jumped off of a ladder from the ring to a Sammy Guevara table, and the ring the table didn't break, and he just smashed his face into another table. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
They need to go home, man. Go home.
Sorry, that's been your double dose of AEW Quick Hits. Anywho, back to Carmelo Hayes don't lose. And he lost in the ring clean to Finn Balor. If there isn't a plan in place for this man to take that belt, because he's so determined. Like, he ain't even fucking with his friends no more. Like, man, fuck this, nigga. I don't care what y'all talk about. I'm in a dark room, and I'm just wilding right now.
It's just me, these Jordan 1s, and this Grape Street flag, cuz.
It's been 7 years. I've been thinking about this shit for 7 years. You, nigga, I remember you laughed at me. You laughed at me when I gave up my title. He was salty as fuck. I'm like, oh, this is some good petty shit. They just show Seth like, and he wasn't even Joker Seth yet. That just goes to show how ignorant. 7 years ago, this nigga just laughing at you. It's like Carrie. He just hears that they're all gonna laugh at you. They're all gonna laugh.
Eddie King.
It's just nothing but Seth Rollins' head just spinning around his thoughts. Finn got to win this belt, man.
He's been anointed. He is now King Petty Balor, 100%.
I need it. If this again, it's so good because Seth is at his like best final form, Seth. But this Seth also does not need a title. So I feel like you gotta at least 50-50 book it. Go ahead and let Finn get it off of him. Let Seth go away for a minute because he hurt. He comes back, incredible pop, and don't have to be SummerSlam, it could be anytime. And now he's challenging and stalking Finn. Would love it. And then maybe this culminates into
because after SummerSlam, it's payback. Perfect time to come back.
I mean, hey, he probably needs some time off. I know he's not Captain American and no more, but maybe find some other moves. I don't know. Whatever, whatever he needs to do, I'm with him.
He's got a school to run, a child to raise, a coffee shop, got other things he can do.
I mean, sure. Gotta ask, any thoughts before we leave Monday Night Raw? Any thoughts about the women's Money in the Bank? Anything? Any care at all? Anybody?
I'm trying to think of something funny to say. I had nothing.
That's funny. Yeah, I got nothing.
I got nothing.
Zelina Vega with a chancla.
Being the short one in the back, hitting him with the chancla. I was like, I know you thought this was a good idea, but it makes you look so non-threatening in this match that nobody was even thinking about you.
She called Zoe Stark a groupie. I loved it. That's fine, but like, do we actually care about the Money in the Bank? Any prediction? I mean, well, sorry, we'll get to predictions. I almost jumped the gun here. My apologies. But
to ask, do we really care? Not really.
Okay, fair enough. I think the way to go with this is to have Trish Stratus win her first ever ladder match, and then Zoe being her heavy, just walking around with that briefcase. It's reminiscent of the Miz and Alex Riley,
or Dolph having it with Big E. Like, you have a heavy next to you.
I tried to pick something that was more entertaining. I'm sorry, that was not a good look for Big E just then. So black and menacing and silent and stoic on the main roster, but having all the personality in NXT. So that was a rough run.
The
Miz and Alex Riley, that was fire when he held the briefcase for him. Sean, I feel like that was your era. I feel like you remember that.
I remember a lot of the Miz's gimmicks. I remember the Miz hold the briefcase, the stunt double. All that
Sandow,
shit.
Yes,
yeah,
love that too.
All the Miz's gimmicks in 2010.
Damian Mizdow,
Mizdow, and it was a great. And then my favorite moment, I know it's off topic, but with the Miz brought out his stunt double, and then Ziggler brought out his stunt double, and it was R-Truth. In the same attire. If you've never seen the video,
I don't remember that.
Go look it up. It was R Ziggler, and they come out. You know how Ziggler does the whole dance and shit.
Yeah,
they do it side by side.
Oh my!
It's a mirror. R-Truth had to do this, like, he had to have copied the choreography.
R-Truth is a national treasure
because he did it on point at the same time. If you've never seen it, go back and watch it. It's fucking hilarious.
Save for later. It's happening. I will be watching that. But speaking of things that we are watching, NXT Gold Rush Week 2 happened. Week 1, we talked about there were some things to like, a few misses, mainly Dana Brooke. Week 2 of Gold Rush, I gotta ask, how do they compare?
Week 2 was better. You get 3 title matches, so week 2 automatically better. You gave us a little more build of a story that didn't have a match involved in it. And you get Melo. You get Melo getting a W after taking a decisive loss.
Smart.
Yeah.
You can't lose there.
So I'm gonna leave with this, and then I'm gonna walk away. This is the type of shit I do. I'm just like, I'm gonna drop this bomb and I'm gonna walk away. Thea Hale needs to be champion. Fuck it, I'm gonna say it. I'm all in. I'm all in. The presentation, the match. I thought that match was fantastic.
Wow. Okay.
It got me. There's so many things that happened there. Like, I don't know what it was. She came out with the Ultimate Warrior cuffs. Come on, man. It was so good. And again, I know Tiffy is the one for some.
I thought this was an avid Tiffany Stratton, pod,
It is.
We are a Tiffany Stratton fan pod. Absolutely.
She doesn't do it for me.
So
But
Dub is a Tiffany Stratton fan. Okay, I got you.
Yes, to 1,000%.
yeah,
No, that the super babyface vibes coming over there, bro. Like the whole chase you too, like and
it's
the
my
whole
favorite.
at the end, Andre coming back and shit like that. Yeah, it was.
I popped so hard for that.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the atomic elbows, all the shit, the chase you putting it up. And then she. Okay, I got to talk about this really quick. She
the fucking ring.
Yes, she gets Tiffany on the ground and she stomps her and spells out chasing you, and I'm like, and then throws up the U before dropping the elbow. I'm like, that is money. She's doing things at such a high level that you still have the Ronda Rouseys and the people who are completely just dumbfounded and lost. She's 19 years old and she is nailing like character, the sales, the face, the Kimura locks. It was just something about that match that worked so well, and I'm like, she can't win, right? But this is so good. And then I was like, I've loved it. That was fantastic to me.
So, E-Ray, check this out. I agree with you. Thea needs that belt, just not right now.
No,
because Tiffany having that belt leads her to do such good character work, because like she's always the Daisy girl who's gotten her way, but now that she's on top, she can really talk down to people and it means something. So like Thea needs that belt at some point more than any other woman that's on their roster right now, because they're kind of in a weird place in that women's division.
Yeah,
but
I'll
not
say
right
this.
now.
Let me retract a bit. I'm sorry. I'm gonna. I got my ticket. I got my ticket punched. But I'm going to, pull the thing and step off the hyperbole train for a quick second. Okay. She doesn't need the belt right now, but the character work she is doing is phenomenal. It's blown me away where I'm like, she has a future doing this for a long time, and she's figured out the hard part early. Like,
we'd love to see her get it at like deadline or something, like right at the end of the year.
Honestly, I just want to see her continue with this character. I'm such a fan of what they've been able to do with Chase U, period, and how it's evolved. So all of that, I'm fully in. Now, with that said, I'm jumping back out.
Sean, let me ask you this question. Should they add a tag team to Chase U?
As of right now, no. I don't see anything that's cohesive, and it would seem forced. I don't even see anything on the roster that would even fit with that vibe right now that they got going.
Well, I mean, they got so many kids back there that they're just not using. I'm just thinking like maybe 2 more students and like just have them be a tag team, as Chase is the teacher, Duke is the MVP. Like, they work as a tag team, but technically those are 2 singles guys. Why not have Chase teaching a tag team and teaching them tag team things?
But you got Thea Hale right now that's gonna go with how they're building her. I mean, getting women's title shots. She's gonna go on a run. They're gonna push her more, and I don't think you need to take away from the eyes on her and her getting her push, throwing another tag team in Chase U.
Okay, maybe I just like the gimmick so much. I just want more people to have the gimmick.
Like you said, it's not time for her belt run. It's not time to add to Chase U.
Fair enough. I agree, and I think Dub, you're right. You love it so much, you want more of it, because Chase U saved Duke Hudson. Thought that his character was unredeemable. We were joking on him every week.
Oh, like, the poker player.
He was the original Von Wagner. He was catching all the jokes. Ooh. And now it's like, oh, he really is the MVP. He's found his way within Chase U to add character, add like so much to it. It's like, man, he was floundering before I can't even imagine him without this Chase U gimmick, which
he said a month ago he wanted to rename Chase University Duke University. He just kind of looked around. I was like, this is so good. Because he's Australian. He might not even realize that Duke exists. This is so good.
So,
oh man,
that was one of those things for me. The next would be What was the next GOAT card? I'm sure you got it up there.
Well, your boys in No Fan Blade had their tag title match.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna lie, I thought they were gonna win. So I appreciate that turn that happened. And that led us to further a storyline. E-Ray, what did you think? Did you think they were gonna win? Like watching that match live?
I don't know what this episode is doing. Sean, I'm blaming you. Because I'm acting totally different. I have been week to week to week saying how much I don't give about Gallus boys out on top or bottom side, whatever they be on. I never care. This was the first and only match that I've watched of theirs that I was like, I love this.
That was good.
I enjoyed the whole.
That was good.
But not because
He
of
gets
them.
it.
Not
He
because of
finally
them.
gets it.
But because of No Fan Blade going against them, it just kept my
Dallas boys
entertainment
on
level.
top. He gets
And I was
it.
like, this was so fun. Because I literally thought a No Fan Blade could win. And I was like, I know it's improbable, but it would be nice to take those belts off of them. But they had me drawn in. They pulled it on me. I was a mark. I couldn't help it. I love this match.
That's the beauty of tag team wrestling. You can get a lot more emotion and feeling out of a tag team, a good tag team match.
And I mean,
Sean,
we're talking about
are you
NXT.
a Gallus guy? Are you a Gallus guy, Sean?
So you actually, and I think it was the last time I was on this podcast. You turned me on to Gallus, and I started watching and keeping up with them since then. And yeah, that's solid. I love tag team wrestling, and on the main roster, there hasn't been much of it lately. With good tag team wrestling, so NXT definitely fills that void for me right now.
NXT has been one because again, I can recall. I want to say 2017, perhaps 2016. Yeah, probably 2017. DIY versus what is now FTR, and the double submission, or Mustache Mountain versus like was it the Alpha Cat? Whatever. It was a bunch of people, but some of the greatest tag team matches and important tag team match. They had like TM61. Like, who gives a fuck about them? But they were killing. And it was like they just did tag team wrestling right in NXT. So this was kind of a throwback to that. And I was like, man, this is pretty good. I'm happy to see this. And again, my two black brothers that came out like Macho King and and with like some type of X-Man or Wolverine type gimmick for Malik the Freak.
I'll never know what Malik is doing.
Malik the Freak. I don't know what he was doing, but I popped for it. I was like, good job. And they had a great match. And I thought for 1 second Stacks was gonna go ahead and give it to him and seal the deal, and I would have popped so hard for that. But it didn't happen, but it worked. I was a mark. I was there the whole time, engaged in this match. And further the storyline, I was like, damn, they lost, but that's okay. I thought it was incredible. So again, 2 for 2 with me this week.
So how are you guys feeling on this like new season of The Sopranos starring Tony D and Stacks 2 dimes 4 nickels?
Coincidentally, there is an Olive Garden commercial on my TV right now. You can't make this shit up.
Oh my god.
He's like,
impeccable timing.
Oh, when you're here, you're
limited
family.
breadsticks and salad.
But sometimes family gets you put in the slammer because they're sick of being the underboss.
Facts. This is pretty intriguing. I gotta say, I didn't see that coming
At all.
But I'm also curious. How did he get a recording of this? Like he was like, man, I keep my phone on me at all times, motherfucker.
Yeah, like wait, like so he pulled you out the trunk of the car and you just hit record on your phone?
Yeah.
I have questions.
Plot holes. plot holes.
Joe Coffey, how often do you get thrown in cars that you're you're so ready?
Why are you so vulnerable?
Like, wait, what if he wasn't gonna like tell you something? You just had your phone on record so you could record yourself whooping his ass?
No, he was gonna just have it for his memoirs.
Oh, that's a Gallus thing. They record themselves stomping people out. That's a Gallus thing.
I thought he was gonna record his memoirs, like 19. It was like 6/19/27, 1,700 hours. I've been in this trunk for 3 days. Gallus boys on the bottom, in the boot. Gallus boys in the boot. Right? Like, I wasn't sure where it was going, but yeah, it was.
Oh, he turned his recorder on. Was like, these are my confessions.
Right, and then it's like, oh, okay. And I'm just fascinated. What was the end game of him telling? Because Tony D told him, "Hey, this is what is going on." Stack said, "Just lay low, dude. I got you." This nigga don't listen. He just, nope. I'm going to the prison today. Hater.
Hey man, he threw him in the trunk and had a bunch of rats sent to his house
and didn't kill him.
First of all, he had rats sent to his house. So like, you sent rats to my house and you kidnapped me to tell me that you turned your back on your boss?
Well, he had to make it look good. I mean, you've seen this. Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah.
Right. Boardwalk Empire, Sopranos, so many others. You gotta like sell the part before you make the turn.
Well, like, what incentive do I have to help you if I'm Joe Coffey?
That he was dedicated enough to cover it up to make it look nice, so both of y'all don't get killed.
Right.
I guess, because if I'm Joe, I'm like, well, I have faith in my guys to beat up the two moolies, because you know they probably saying racist shit like that.
Very much so.
So I'm like, why don't I just tell Tony D so he can get you off of our back too?
They definitely look like they go to Sal's Pizza Shop after to get a slice. Just saying. Like, why ain't no black people up in here? All right, Tony. Like, you know. Anyway.
Speaking of tag team stuff, so we had a Schism Summit, which sounds disgusting to say out loud.
Disturbingly so.
Disturbing. I hate that name.
Where they sat in the ring and argued about Jagger and Reed not being, I don't know, like
Jagger
featured.
Jagger and Reed is one person. Jagger Reed is his name. The other guy is Rip. I don't know what, Rip Hamilton or something. I don't know. Whoever
exactly. Rip Jagger. There you go.
Rip Jagger.
Yeah. Talking about how they're helping Joe out, Joe not helping them out. And like, then you get Diamond Mine coming out there, who they desperately need some new members. A gym full of two people is weird. But anyways, so they get to arguing, then they say, like, let's have a loser leave town match. And then Joe accepts on behalf of Rip Jagger. And during that argument, you kind of got the feeling that they were gonna go back to me and E-Ray's favorite gimmicks of all time, GYV, soon to be recognized. But the interesting wrinkle is here, loser leaves town match. They asked for their release like 5-6 months ago. But then you can also argue that Diamond Mine is ready to be called up too. But then you also get this hint of maybe they're going back to GYV. There's so many like things here. You're like, so wait, are they gonna lose, go to the main roster, and go back to being GYV? Are they gonna lose and finally be granted their release, or are they gonna win and go back to being GYV? Because I think that's an inevitable thing at this point. And then Diamond Mine get called up. Like, I have questions. E-Ray, on a scale of 1 to 1 million. How ready are you to see GYV back talking cash shit and whooping people's ass?
Look, Rip Hamilton or whatever his name is already there. He was like, look, I ain't even wearing the goofy clothes no more. I am not looking like a preacher, man. He had the jeans on, he had the flannel, like he was back in his regular gear.
Yeah.
Jagger, on the other hand, he still had the crazy eye and the suspenders. He's still kind of living the gimmick. So I'm like, I don't know. But the way they're talking, they're not talking all that family togetherness shit. They like, you know what? It might be time for us to change it up here. And so I'm like, maybe they leave, but they come back as GYV. That a possibility?
Gives some time to grow his beard back.
Yeah,
because he looks like a pedophile without it.
You got to get that scruffy look every time.
Facts.
The whole presentation. That would only work. Yeah.
Speaking with guys with beard, the beard bros right now. You can't just be like, I'm clean face. I should never see your chin as an adult man. Freaks me out.
They made him clean face and gave him a weird eye. I'm like,
yeah,
he looks like a pedophile. It's creepy.
Absolutely. And suspenders. That is the creepiest.
That's weird.
It's too many things. Like I think about the creepy pedophile dude from Spawn. He's like a little chubby dude, had an ice cream truck. Pedophile. He had a clean face, suspenders.
Pee Wee Herman.
You putting kids on Pee Wee?
No, I'm just saying. Creepy.
Yeah.
Go watch Pee Wee Herman back. It's fucking creepy.
I can't. I can't do that shit.
It's fucking creepy.
Yes. But either way, I'm just come on, man. Just give it up.
It's fine.
Give me what I want. I gotta sound like what's his name?
Batista.
Give me what I want. Give me what I want.
You know what I want. Give it to me. GYV needs to be back in the fold, and I'll appreciate it. Please, just give it to us. I also was like, I'm not sure about the glasses. It feels like he's Joe is going to Hollywood. Joe to Hollywood Gacy. I'm like, I don't know if this works for me. The new wrinkle of his gimmick. And Ava Raine is trying to keep everything together.
Somebody says she sounds like she talked with her top teeth and bottom lip, and I can't unhear it now.
Yeah, it's all possible. But thank you for having a Schism Summit in the middle of my Gold Rush. I don't know why that was necessary, but
Schism Summits and Gold Rush. All of this behind the forbidden door.
Basically, like that. Like I don't need this. Continue on. We had another
Heritage Cup match.
Yeah, I know you had some issues. Go ahead, air your grievances.
They changed Dragon Lee's music. That looked my only grievance because I love this music. It was that mix of like Mexican rap and Japanese traditional like flute shit with the Mortal Kombat. I was like, this is great. And now it's just Mexican rap, and I was like, this isn't great anymore.
Oh, you racist.
Maybe a little bit. But no, this match was great. I mean, not too much to talk about there. Like, Heritage Cup matches are always fun because you get essentially 5 mini matches real quick between guys who can really work at that rate. You're never going to see Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin do a British Rounds match, not in their repertoire. But Sean, how'd you feel about this match? Do you think the right man went over? Or should Nathan hold that cup for a little longer?
You feel like the white man went over?
Right.
The white man win.
I mean, in a British Rounds match, absolutely. But I feel the right dude went over in this one. Drag is cool, but not now. He needs to hold that cup a little longer. That fits him, and that just fits him. It's part of the gimmick at this point.
Has Dragon Lee won a match since he's been in NXT?
No, and this wouldn't have been the time for him to do it. So good call.
I feel like he's just been in title matches every week and hasn't won one of them.
Literally, like, oh, here you want to be in this 5-way? You want to be in this Heritage Cup 3 times? You want to like they're just giving him shit to do, and I have yet to see him punch a nigga in the gut and he disintegrate. That's what I need. Like you do it in your Titantron, do it in real life, sir.
So you just want to see him just punch a guy and just fold his ass one good time?
Yes, Reggie. Do it to Reggie. I would take Dude.
His street name is Scripps.
Look, if another critique about Gold Rush, when they
the two street niggas that they put.
Yeah, son, and I was like, man, fuck A&M. I ain't going to that bit. I was like, what?
They kicked me off the team when I smashed that dumbass running back. Like, what are we doing? Like, what is going on?
But I was okay with that.
What part of Little Haiti are they in right now in Miami?
I was okay with that. What I was not okay with was immediately after that vignette, you got Reggie. Was like, yeah, those street guys, man. I ran with some dudes like that. No, you didn't, Reggie. What the fuck are you talking about?
I love Reggie just lying on his street cred. I really do. I think it's the funniest shit in the world. Like I wanted to do that when those two guys come up. I want Reggie and Dom to have a conversation. Like I love Reggie just lying on his street cred. Like, nah, nigga, you was in Cirque du Soleil. Legitimately.
Man, I was just like
it's just so funny.
Rich. Like it's just ridiculous. All right. Anywho, that was what we needed. Then we had our actual what do we call that, a tea break? Like bathroom break match?
Which one?
Oh, Gigi versus Kiana?
Gigi Kiana.
Did anybody else think Kiana's really going to take the pistol out the purse finally?
There we go. You got me to it.
Okay, well, jump to it.
If I would have ever uttered the words, oh my God, somebody's painting Gigi's back, would have never expected it to be. Hear me out, guys. Hear me out. I'm just saying. Not exactly what I was expecting. Yeah, man.
On live TV?
What? Tune in now. Gold Rush.
NXT 2.0 all over her back.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. Like, oh shit, she 2.0 all over.
Rolling with the hustlers.
I was blown away, and I was like, yo, that's crazy. Never thought I'd be uttering those words. I'm happy I did not have control of the Let Me Book the Territory Twitter, because that's exactly what I would have tweeted out. Followed by probably mad apologies or not. Yeah, that was strange. I thought she was gonna pull out the blicky, and she pulled out the sticky. Like, it was very strange. I don't know why this happened. Did anyone care?
Why did she choose New York Knicks colors? I have questions.
So many questions that I don't care to get answers to. I don't even want to answer.
Why did she choose to put paint on her at all?
Again, I was like, this isn't 2.0 anymore. The colors are gone. I guess that would have made sense somewhere. There's never been any like vignette that she did where she's like, I like the paint. And she's like, oh bitch, I'll show you. And why did she have this big ass duffel bag purse that was sitting right there in the ring? Like, it's so many things.
Why did they clean the paint up in the ring but didn't clean Ospreay's blood off the stairs?
Because they have a higher production budget. This is, come on, everyone knows. This ain't the Kumite, guys. This is national TV. Yeah, just very different. Sean, any input in this at all? Don't feel pressured to say.
No, I don't even feel pressured. You started it off with talking about Gigi getting her back painted on live TV, so
yeah, that relieved all the pressure.
That happened. It relieved all of
Okay, I gotta go.
Oh, but just let loose with that one, my man. But yeah,
that's what Kiana did.
No, Fox is back. Oh my god.
No, that's all the input that's needed. Yeah. I'm good.
There we go. So with that said, before we get to that, I do gotta specifically mention the interaction between Trick, Mello, and Rhea Ripley. Fan freaking tastic. I just enjoy so much the shenanigans. He said, I forget the phraseology he said, but it was something a little foul. I got some gold for you or something. I was like, yeah. And then she said, I'm not talking to you. And I was like, and then Rhea Ripley, and beautiful character, says, hey, next time you step in our business, we gonna make you our business. It's like, quick. I was like, quick, short, and right to the point. Love that, which leads to the match. And I was very happy to see the Lone Wolf back. Lone Wolf bike. Did y'all pop for this?
Oh,
No.
100%. What?
Uh-oh.
It's not the same feeling without it's not
Without hair?
too
No,
it's
no.
too late. It's too late. It's too late also. That's not the only reason without the hair.
Okay.
The hair adds to the look and the feeling.
Right.
They did it too late. Honestly, if they were gonna do this, you should have ditched the Happy Corbin gimmick like after
weeks
the
ago.
after the Madcap feud. You could have did it. I mean, even earliest or latest as a few weeks ago, you could have ditched this shit.
I would have took it.
Like, you should have debuted in NXT as the Lone Wolf instead of debuting as Happy Corbin and then switching back to the Lone Wolf. It was just too late. Bad timing. Bad timing.
I loved it. I loved it. The music came back. The Titantron came back. He did the shit where he just held his arms out like,
But
it was like an old school acknowledgement. Like, yeah, I'm the shit.
But it was missing an integral part.
Hair?
Nope. Wasn't the hair. It's the 3 spotlights.
Oh yeah.
White, red, and then it's just like, I was like, ah, shit. That used to pop me easy. I was like, oh man, love this. Speaking of popping, that deep 6 pause. That shit was crazy. I was like, that thing.
Yeah.
I was like, man, it was so good, and I think that was a part of. The match was so good. I almost wanted to watch it right back immediately. I was like, oh shit, we got like 30 minutes before we pod. It's a 20-minute match. I might watch this again. It was a lot of Baron Corbin offense. He brutalized, and I mean brutalized Carmelo, and I was like, is he gonna win this belt right now? Like, yeah. And again, I was like, the suspension of disbelief. I was a mark in that moment, and I was like, shit, Carmelo might lose this belt, and he gonna be on his way up, I assume, because Baron Corbin is beating his ass, and it felt logical. He's a bigger guy. He's huge. Toss him around. Impactful moves. It wasn't like that same Baron Corbin where you're like, okay, he's not winning. He do a slide in, slide out, blah blah blah. It was like, no, he is. Shit. Yeah, he's picking him up, power bombing him, and he just laid out for him too. And I think that was the thing. Their styles were very complementary.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of this match. I thought it was really good. Besides the entrance, Sean, did you have feelings on the match?
Match was straight. I've always liked Baron Corbin as a wrestler, especially with the big frame that he has. He's not the most physically, he doesn't have the triple 03 Triple H body type shit.
Right.
But
so the anabolics,
basically, bro. The dude can fucking go though as a wrestler. Yeah. But entertaining match, like you said, the styles really they clash beautifully. Yes. His big man go style and Carmelo's, small, high flying, good selling athletic style. Great match, absolutely. And it, suspension of disbelief, at a second it was like, oh shit, are they finna like slingshot this title on him? Like, it's possible. A small percent said inside. It's like, all right, it's possible, but yeah, straight match. I liked it, absolutely.
Yep.
Baron Corbin got put on the t-shirt and sent to the rafters, like all the
Fire.
rest, because he wrestled him. Good, it was a good match. I loved it. I love the ending of Melo doing the fadeaway with Corbin being held up on the ropes. I was like, you know what? I like that. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I also liked just seeing Braun Breaker's name on a t-shirt in the rafters. I thought that shit just made my day. And yeah, I need the shirt, the yellow shirt with Baron Corbin's face in the target. It makes me happy. I want, like, they need, certain merch needs to be sold. WWE, hit us up. Let me book the territory. Let me book pod. Let me book territory.com.
I would agree, but then I feel like they're gonna start doing more research about what put you on a t-shirt really means.
I don't care.
And then they're gonna do some research about what Melo meant when he tweeted out RNS. And the next thing you know, Melo gonna be looking for a job.
We ain't gonna talk about that. I seen that thing.
I was like, yo, what are we doing?
He said, Sean ain't the most witted no more, but he was like, yeah, Sean. Blah, blah, blah. So great. Thanks, Sean, for allowing us to get some of these fantastic moments that you have nothing about. It's just like when white people found out what skeet means. Skeet. Oh my God. Yeah. So
that was on the radio one day and it was off the next.
Facts. Fantastic match. I need these Carmelo t-shirts that he's putting people on. I need the Street Profits gear that they come city to city. Shit's incredible. Like come on guys, just give us what we want. But Gold Rush, really good show. Second week for sure. And then Low Light and a mystery point. Fantastic way to end it. Low Light. I never want to see Von Wagner act. I feel like it's the worst thing ever. He had his head down and he just the drama. What? Jesus Christ. That was embarrassing. I felt bad for him and his family that has to, Anyway, that's it. Not too much on Von. We're gonna leave him there. And then Braun Breaker throwing a tantrum inside of Shawn Michaels' office. Quickly, can you give me a scenario that you think Braun Breaker's trying to get into? Deb, I'm gonna start with you.
I think he's trying to get a match with somebody who isn't there, like maybe someone who's been called up or on the way back, and Shawn's like, no, I can't give you that match. But he's like, I've beaten everybody else here, so give me that match. Maybe
So would that be who?
Corbin, Brock, one of the free agents or something.
Corbin or Brock Lesnar?
One of the free agents. What? You get what I'm saying?
I mean, hey,
because Braun, he made the point of saying, I've beaten everybody here.
So
give me this match. Shawn doesn't have the power to do that. So he clearly argued with Shawn. He's like, give me this match. And then Shawn's saying, I can't do that.
Did he
to
say
me,
give me this match?
Yeah.
He said you'll find out next week, and then he slammed the cameraman. Cameraman took mad L's this week, but
he did. Blair Davenport jumped over the cameraman to punch Roxanne because she heard from Finn that it ain't safe no more.
Sean, give me who do you think he possibly, and don't say Brock Lesnar. Who do you see Braun Breaker challenging now?
At this point, I don't, like he was even saying, I don't see anybody on the NXT roster that is even feasible or entertaining at this point to even wrestle. We don't want to see a rerun with Melo. There's no really point for Baron Corbin. Anything below that, you start going North American title, that's kind of a downgrade for Braun. So at this point, I would say he can't get him a shot with somebody on the main roster. He doesn't have that pull. So who on the main roster? I don't know, man. Mid-card title, fucking
Gunther?
Does he want another,
Gunther.
does he want another shot at Seth, maybe?
Or Austin Theory.
I forget Theory has a title at that point.
That's why I was like, that's the only one I could see him challenging and possibly beating.
But that's a slingshot onto the main roster, going up, beating Theory, and I would do it in a demolishing manner too, like not. I mean, like a fucking just a beat down of Theory. Just take the title and introduce him onto the roster if you're gonna do that.
That's hot.
I wouldn't do that because when Austin Theory drops that belt, they need to be elevating him up. So he needs to just barely be losing that belt.
Where does Austin Theory even go from here? There's no one
main
else.
Event picture.
Yeah. Really?
Y'all
are Austin Theory guys? Y'all Austin Theory guys?
The future of that company is Austin Theory, Braun Breaker, Montez Ford, and Carmelo Hayes. Like, that's the future of the company right there.
Talent-wise, absolutely. I just don't see where they're actually going with him.
Direction-wise, I don't know where they're going now because he beat Cena and then it's been kind of quiet for him. So I feel like directionally, they've got so much other good shit going on that they kind of forgot about him again. So with that creation of that new title, he kind of took his thunder.
Mm-hmm.
But with that said, still, you gotta put him somewhere. And I see again, if he loses that belt, it's to the moon with him because him and LA Knight are the guys that are like the heir apparent that are going to be pushing this company for the next like 10 years. So
not LA Knight for 10 years because
LA Knight's got like another 5.
LA Knight is 40. LA Knight is the now.
No. I'm saying that's why I said 10 years because I'm like LA Knight is already old, but again, wrestling, you can wrestle into your 50s. Like good into your 50s because think about it. All the guys that we know right now that are like the guys, the AJ
40,
Styles and stuff, they in their 40s.
Yeah. Okay. So, Styles is 42, Balor's 40.
Right. And you like Finn Balor's 40? Yes. So
Roman's 38.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. Like, I think he can, and the way LA Knight wrestles, his style lends to him being able to do this, talking and just having pretty good matches, whatever, for another 10 years. That's why I said that. But yeah, if we take him off of there, that's what I mean. He has that same character that he can deliver that for some time. But be that as it may, that was Gold Rush, guys. And I know we're running long here. Do y'all want to go into Money in the Bank predictions?
Yeah. It's the only place to go.
Well,
yeah,
we're here.
All right, I got the card pulled up. We got.
Are we you gonna take down the predictions?
Yeah, I already got Microsoft Word pulled up. Yep, I'm ready, E-Ray. I'm ready. I know you believe I'm a half-asser, but I gotta let you know.
Thank you. You're keeping the beige rage at bay, and it's a good thing. Today's a good day.
We documenting predictions.
I know. Oh yeah. Sean, this is what we do. This is whether we actually like remember to call each other out on the shitty predictions that we made. Sometimes, most times, we try.
I know Dub knows when he was right, though. That's Hogan must pose, right? And Dub knows when he was right.
And Mox must bleed. You know, it's certain things that are constants in wrestling. You know, it's like that. But typically, we like to give predictions. We like to write down our predictions, and then we'll tally them up, and then make the person drink the next episode. So we try to remember this, and take an on-air shot for your shenanigans if you're wrong, and then in hilarity and such. So with that said, we'll try to keep in that vein, and we'll keep you in the loop as well. So Dub, give us this card. Let's do the rundown, and let's get this quickly moving, and we can get out of here.
All right, guys, we got a 7-match card. I'm just going to read them off in the order that Wikipedia has them listed. First match, men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Ricochet, Shinsuke, LA Knight, I'm sorry. LA Knight, Santos Escobar, Butch, Damian Priest, and Logan Paul. Sean, tell me why you're picking Logan Paul to win this match.
I couldn't wait for you to say it.
I knew he was going to say some shit like that. No, this is an LA Knight match all the way. It's cliche. It's been not estimated, but people have been talking about it. They've been predicting it. I don't see anybody else on this card besides Priest. Now, Priest is a very, 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 very close second. And it's not by a big margin, but I think LA Knight's taking that one.
All right, E-Reg, what are you thinking?
I'm gonna slightly disagree with Sean. I think, even though I do absolutely going with LA Knight, I think that it's closer than we think as far as how WWE works. I know it would be a horrible decision, but highly possible that they would go Logan Paul. But that would be a terrible decision because it's like you're just hot shotting him and all the shit that he don't belong in.
Talk about my worst nightmares.
Right. With that said, Priest I think is a good bet, and then I also see it for not Ricochet,
Santos,
but I give him the should, but we know it's not going to happen. So that's the one I feel like is a step below the rest. Like, yeah, I would. He's probably one that deserves it, but nah, he ain't getting it. Yeah, I think
we're just all Santos guys.
Yeah, facts.
And
LA Knight all
the homie BA, before he cashed in his $1 million title, he picked LA Knight as well. So we are going LA Knight across the board on that one, gentlemen.
Yep.
Next up, which I think might be the hardest match for us to predict, and I think might have the most difference in opinion, the women's Money in the Bank match.
Oh, this is easy.
E-Ray, tell me why your girl Zoe Stark is getting the rocket strapped to her and going to the moon with this briefcase.
Damn, that's rough. I feel like she helps because it's like, does she take it, or does she help Trish, or does it cause some type of oops moment? I feel like it's probably going to end up being Becky Lynch somehow. It's like, damn it. I really want Trish to win. And again, Zoe being the heavy, it feels good for story purposes. But I'm picking Becky Lynch.
Okay. Not mad at that. Sean, I know you're a big Japanese wrestling fan, so tell me why Io Sky is winning this whole thing.
That is actually my pick.
Oh, look at that.
That is
so wait. So you're saying Dub was right?
This is my theory, okay? I've been thinking about this for a while. This is my theory, okay? So Becky and Trish are in this match.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They are going to essentially take each other out, which leaves Bayley and Io.
Uh-huh.
Bayley has been trying to steal thunder from Damage Control for quite a minute. Dakota Kai is injured for the foreseeable future. I think it's time. Damage Control broke up. Bayley goes still full heel by herself again. Io turns babyface and wins the Money in the Bank title, or Money in the Bank briefcase.
Okay,
that's
not
my pick.
And that's how we get Io versus
Asuka. That's how we get it.
Oh,
that's why they didn't give it to us that while when they were teasing it. That's why we didn't get it. They put them in some tag teams, things like that.
Had them yelling at each other.
Yeah, we never actually got it. This is why we got it. This is why LA Knight has went on his losing streak and got hot, and this is why we never got Io Sky and Asuka, because these two are supposed to win the Money in the Bank briefcases.
I'm not mad at that.
You know what?
I'm jealous.
And Sean BA agrees with you. He picked Io Sky as well. You guys actually talked me into it earlier in this episode, and I'm going Trish. I think they really the funny part about this gimmick of thank you Trish is the WWE wants to give her flowers too, and give her some of the just due that she didn't get in her time when she was barking like a dog and shit. So I see her getting this briefcase. I don't see her being successful in cashing it in, but I see her winning this briefcase. So I'm going Trish there.
Okay.
Next up, we got the American Nightmare, Cody Luther King, versus the man who just got out of Rikers, Cell Block C, Dominic Mysterio.
Dom himself.
We're all going Dom across the board here. We can just speed through this, right?
Yes, and it's gonna be by way of Brock Lesnar.
Okay.
Like Cody Rhodes is beating the hell out of Dom, and then Brock comes out down, and just beats the shit out of him, and Dom pins him, and it's gonna be that's it, and that's what's gonna set us on.
So referee knocked down. Brock comes out, beats Cody to death,
and just throws Dom,
throws Dom's prone body on top.
You know the vibes.
And then Brock has a stare down with Rhea because Rhea just thinks she can whoop anybody's ass at this point. Yep.
And he looks at her in the face and says, "You're welcome." it just feels right.
I like it. All right, so BA's picking Cody via Brock interference, but everybody else, Dom via Brock interference. All right.
Too much sense.
Yeah. Dom. He's gonna add another teardrop.
Right. What's
I love
the name?
that.
Mello puts you on a t-shirt, Dom puts you on his face. Like, boop. Another body. Like, oh shit. Dom.
Could you imagine Dom, Mello, and Reggie having a conversation?
Bro. When they changed Dom's music to "Murder Was the Case," it's going to be the greatest episode we've ever done. I'm just giving you a heads up.
When they do that, they need to put a world title on Dom. I don't care how you do it, but Dom coming out to "Murder Was the Case" with the title.
Man,
And he got to have on one of those Pooh Shiesty masks too.
that
My man
gimmick.
said he gonna have on a shiesty with "Murder Is the Case." That's his fucking entrance. That
With
is
the world
insane.
title.
It's insane. Holy shit, I need it.
Oh,
Okay.
That would be the greatest thing ever. All right, next up, guys, we got Seth freaking Rollins versus Bitter Balor from Grape Street. I think I've been saying it for three weeks now. I'm going Balor here. I don't see any way he can lose this match and have any redeemable thing outside of leaving for 6 months. Sean, what are you thinking? Because I can see E-Ray's in pain.
visceral.
I'm gonna go with, because I want it to extend into SummerSlam and eventually get called on the card. I want to go Seth.
But
I know it hurt, but I do think Finn will win. But I want to go Seth, so I'm gonna say Seth.
okay.
You sound as conflicted as I am. I want to go Finn. It's hard to pick against Seth, but I'm a believer. Like I said, I've just been feeling this level of, like, I feel like it might low key be what do you call it? A smiles finish. So
Okay.
you really don't get it, but I'm gonna guess I'll say Finn. I want Finn, but I think it's gonna be a no finish. Some bullshit gonna happen.
So I'm just gonna put you down for no finish. All right. BA like me is picking Balor because it's time.
Yeah,
It's time. 7 years. I don't know if you've heard him say it once or twice in the past couple of weeks. Bitter Balor.
Bitter Balor.
So good. All right. Next up on the card, Bloodline Civil War. No Winter Soldier, no Black Panther, just a bunch of Usos getting Usi.
Bunch of angry ass Samoans.
Terrifying. Like that's
Yeah, that is legitimately terrifying.
One of them's barefoot.
Sean, let me start with you here. You going Roman and Solo, or are you going the obvious route?
Gotta go the obvious route.
Okay.
Because it wouldn't make sense to build Roman anymore right now. It makes zero sense. We honestly need to start prepping for that man to get pinned. That's what needs to happen.
Oh, I think it's happening Saturday.
That's what I think. Jay is gonna. I think I think Jay might finally pin Roman because they've
we
already
right here. We right here.
That's what they're setting up for, because once you get that Roman is
visual.
beatable, once you see it, now you believe that Roman is beatable.
Yep.
Because up until now, we haven't believed Roman is beatable. Once that man takes a pin, yeah, it's over.
Oh no, we believed it until he beat Cody at Mania. Then we were like, oh, it's just impossible.
I mean,
if you know booking, Cody was never fucking winning at Mania. That shit was not happening.
I'm a mark then, because I was like, shit, it's happening. I was like, it's happening.
Cody Rhodes
like,
is Dusty Rhodes' son. It's not happening. It's not if you know Dusty,
next year.
That
next
shit
year.
ain't happening. Yes, next year, most definitely.
Yeah.
This year, hell
I didn't think so, but then it was like, man, they are making this so good. They did a great job. I'll say that. This is prior to Vince coming back, right? So it was like, oh shit, we're gonna see how this happens. And then it's like Vince came back right before, like, aha, I was in there, motherfucker. Like, damn. So yeah, I think Usos gotta win, but I'm gonna disagree with y'all. I do not think we get the visual pin for Roman. I think he messes up Solo, and this is what further spurns him to be one less bloodline member, and he's gonna set up Solo or leave Solo somehow, and Solo's gonna take the pin, and that's gonna further alienate. That's gonna further alienate Roman Reigns. It's gonna be just him and the wise man, and him again looking over his shoulder, and all the shenanigans from there. That's what I feel in my bones. So I'm going with the Usos, no Roman pin.
Okay. So Usos across the board on this one. Next up, guys, we're going to predict E-Ray's match of the night. Of course, I'm talking about Rousey and Baszler versus Liv and Raquel. Sean, give me your pick of the E-Ray match of the night.
So I'm going with the psych ward patient and big back pose. I want these titles off of Ronda and Shayna. No disrespect to Shayna. I love Shayna Baszler. I just do not like Ronda Rousey. Get the belts off of them. I'm going big back pose in the psych ward patient.
Psych ward patient.
All right.
No BA is going Rousey and Baszler on this one.
And I'm with
E-Ray. Tell me why.
No way in hell that they allow them to take those belts off of them when it just doesn't make any sense. I can't let my hatred blind me to, like, you wouldn't take the belts off of them. They had the belts before, right? And then they just like, give me them goddamn belts. And Liv coming back, they're gonna play into that, and she's probably gonna take the pin. My only thing is, do they make a heel or some type of turn in that regard? I don't think so, but I'm like, I know, but I know they want to get Raquel by herself. So I'm like, does Liv go heel? Because that doesn't mean anything. It's essentially like Nikki ASH, basically. But I just feel like, nah, Raquel has to be on her own. I think they're going to give it a valiant effort, but they're going to lose. So Ronda retains. She asked for this. She's trying to elevate those titles, as she said. I don't know.
I mean, she can elevate them by not having them.
Right, by lifting them over her head. That's the only elevation those things are getting.
Yeah, I'm going to live in Raquel. My hatred speaks to me too much. As E-Ray will tell you from our group chat, Sean, I am King Hater.
Oh, I'd be right there with you. Trust me.
It's running through my veins.
With you. I would hate. I'm a avid Ronda Rousey hater, certified.
Same.
All right. The last match on this card to predict: Gunther versus Riddle for the IC title. I feel like we're all going Gunther here. Tell me if I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong. Nah, Gunther don't turn this man chest in the ground beef.
All right,
cooked, my brother.
Right.
Absolutely.
You about to turn him into fucking Riddle Kush, just grind his.
So I had to double check before I did the picks. I was like, wait, has Gunther passed Honky Tonk Man yet? Nope. Okay, not losing.
Exactly. That's why I didn't think about it. Like, not today. I wouldn't be surprised if this opened up the card. because it's damn sure not being the main event. So
No.
this probably opens up the card. I think it's probably another good match, similar to Gunther versus.
Now, I think you open with one of the Money in the Bank matches because you always want to create that threat that one of the Money in the Bank people are going to cash in.
You're right, but the only thing though is, well, okay, two things, and we'll get out of here. One, if they did open up with the men's Money in the Bank and someone wins, who they gonna what, jump Seth in the middle of
Roman has a match too.
That ain't happening.
No, but I'm saying, like,
that ain't even happening.
That's why you open up the card with one of those matches, so that at the end of the night, whenever they're talking about the champions, you talk about that looming threat. So then you start that trend of talking about it early.
So you just have LA Knight.
Consumer's mind.
LA Knight's music comes out as Roman runs from solos in the middle of the ring, laid out, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And then he just stays at the top of the ring staring at him. Yeah, that's
honestly,
it. That's how
I would do that. Yeah,
that's how it goes on.
I would have LA Knight at the end of both of the matches that involve the world champions, just standing there. Like you better start thinking about me.
Menacingly.
Yeah,
I love it. Yeah. All right, that is it. All the votes have been cast. We will do the tallies at the 88th, 97th annual Hunger Games next week, and we'll figure it out after we watch this great weekend of wrestling. Guys, we've come to another fantastic conclusion. We kept you here a little bit longer, but we made it worth it. So in that regard, why don't you make it worth it for us by leaving a comment and a 5-star review for this fantastic wrestling experience known as Let Me Book the Territory. Stay tuned. We got mad shit coming up for you. Sean and BA continue to do fantastic work on the BA show. And man, it's just so much stuff coming up. Can't wait for you guys to hear it. But in the meantime, Dub, please tell the people where they can find you.
ladies and gentlemen, every week, the vibes, embrace the turn up. We are back for the summer. We're going to pepper them out there, some good episodes to keep you abreast on the culture, if you will. If you guys are looking for me,
I don't like it was too intense.
You're welcome.
Keep them abreast. Yeah.
ADUB1220 on Twitter and IG. Hit that follow button, and I promise I will fuck up your algorithm with filth and wrestling, not necessarily in that order. If you want to see me in person, holler at me at the MPW Professional Wrestling Show in Taylor, Michigan. You will see me behind the camera. I might even be in front of the camera this time around doing some backstage interviews.
Okay.
So when you see me out, you see me with that too sweet.
Are you going to be as weak as the cameraman in NXT getting knocked all over the place? Oh, gosh. Help me. You going to be that guy?
No. Luckily, I don't have the mobile cam, but
okay.
I do have the hard cam, so everybody's looking at me when they do their finish. Pause.
Whoa. All right. GG dubbing. Okay. What a release. Sean, please let the people know where they can find you, good sir.
Well, now there's two places you could find me. I'm over at Twitter on Fourth Rope, and every other week normally on the BA show. We got a lot coming up every week of the summer. In July, there will be another episode of the BA show, so you can catch me there. We're going to be covering Summer Slams.
Yeah.
So that's the two play. Exactly. At Fourth Rope. Yeah, that's it, man.
Love it. Guys, it is E-Ray Knight. You can find me at E_RAY_ the bad guy on the Instagrams, E_RAY the hipster on the Twitters. I'm an Instagram baddie, so you can find all my links in bio. Binge Flicks and Chill season 2 is back. Most recent episode, a whole lot of nope sauce. Evil Dead review with the homie Enrico, the genius. Go listen to that. New merch coming soon. And also you can find me at Inaudible Ruckus every Saturday. Great release. But unlike Gigi Dolan, this has been another fine episode of Let Me Book the Territory. Well, I don't want to say memorial. He's still alive, but he just cashed out on us and ran away. BA likes to say, keep the heads shiny. As Dub likes to say, Dokalax aisle 12. As Sean likes to say, guys, I'm a youngster. Hey, let the madness wash all over you. And I throw you a towel after the backsplash. It's been another episode of Let Me Book the Territory.
And your back painted.
And we are out of here.
Peace.